It's time to take stock of all the action from the startup world. Shruti Mishra is here with our startup wrap.
Thanks for that. Let's take a look at the key headlines in the startup space. First up, EV maker Ather Energy raises $50 million from existing investor Caladium Investment at a valuation of $750 to $800 million, sources tell CNBC-TV18. The fundraise comes in an extended Series E round of $128 million led by NIIF Strategic Opportunities Fund and Hero Motorcorp. Next up, Meta's revenue in India crosses $2 billion or roughly 16,000 crore rupees in FY22 with a 74% increase year-on-year as Instagram draws ad spends. The social media giant's India arm also reports a net profit at nearly 300 crore rupees over the same period. SoftBank decides to dump its entire stake in struggling UK e-commerce company THG with a write-off of $450 million. Qatar Investment Authority and the company's co-founder to buy the shares, with SoftBank set to pocket just $31 million in exchange for its 10% stake in the company. With that, it's back to you.
All right. Thank you very much, Shruti Mishra, for joining us with all that's happening in the startup landscape. In national headlines now, a helicopter carrying Kedarnath pilgrims crashed in Uttarakhand's Rudraprayag. All 7 passengers, including the pilot of the chopper, were killed in the incident. According to reports, the chopper was travelling back from Kedarnath and crashed soon after its takeoff. The Supreme Court will hear the case against the release of 11 convicts in the Bilkis Bano gang rape case on the 29th of November. The Gujarat government filed an affidavit before the court which said the union government had approved the release of the convicts despite objections raised by the CBI. The Delhi High Court has rejected the bail plea of activist Umar Khalid. The former JNU student was arrested under UAPA in a case related to an alleged conspiracy behind the Delhi riots in 2020. Khalid was seeking bail on grounds that he didn't have a criminal role in the violence and neither did he have any conspirational connect with the other accused in the case. The Congress party will be getting its first non-Gandhi chief in 24 years tomorrow. President Sonia Gandhi will be passing on the mantle to either Mallikarjun Kharge or Shashi Tharoor. Lok Sabha MP Karti Chidambaram says that the party would stand united behind the new president, says Congress is the inevitable political force that can take on the BJP. As the Congress is set to get its first non-Gandhi president in 24 years tomorrow, Congress leader Karti Chidambaram, in an exclusive conversation with CNBC-TV18, said that the Grand Old Party is the only political organization that can challenge the BJP.
Let me be very clear, the Congress party is here to stay. We consistently score close to 20% of the national vote. It's only a matter of time before we get our act together and our vote share goes up to another 5 or 10 more percent. And then we'll become exceedingly viable in terms of winning elections. So winning will be the greatest tonic for the Congress party. And I think in the upcoming state elections, based on how we perform, I know for certain that we are going to win in Karnataka. Things will start rolling into place. And there can be no political formation in India against the BJP sans the Congress.
You can catch the entire conversation with Karti Chidambaram, Congress Lok Sabha MP, at 10 p.m. right here on CNBC-TV18. COVID lockdowns changed the landscape of Kota, the educational city, a city which used to buzz with the presence of lakhs of aspiring engineers and doctors, lost its appeal. Educational institutes switched to the online mode and tied up with edtech companies. But what looked like a long-term format proved to be a timely setup, and the students are back in the education city now. Here's a report.
Kota was said to be an industrial city in the 80s. With JK Industries employing over 8,000 people, Kota was known as the industrial town of Rajasthan. But the industry shut down, and at the time, it looked like Kota's future was also hanging by a thread. But an engineer from JK Industries, VK Bansal, and his simple yet revolutionary idea changed the city forever. Bansal started teaching aspiring engineering students in 1988, and that's how Kota became the educational city it has become now. What started with Bansal classes converted into over 60 engineering and medical coaching institutes. Till 2019, over 2.5 lakh students used to come to Kota every year. But the lockdown changed the situation. The lockdown has meant that the coaching institutes had to quickly evolve their teaching methodology. For some institutes which were anyway looking to introduce online classes, it meant they had to accelerate timelines and expand the scope of online adoption. Some coaching institutes tied up with edtech companies, while others started their own digital portal. But as the COVID restrictions were lifted, students started coming back to Kota. And the big feedback has been that when preparing for competitive exams, online classes are not the best option. Once the lockdown ended, it was anticipated that a significant chunk of students might opt for online classes. But that didn't happen. Coaching institutes have started a hybrid model and the online option continues, but students prefer offline classes.
Now it is only 10 to 15% those who are purely online, but still they have an option for hybrid, some still contact program also. So because we have a parallel system now available, so we have offered both of them, but pure online, if you say, those who are taking this full course, that is in Allen, it is 10 to 15% only.
This ratio is same across institutes in Kota. In fact, edtech companies are also setting their feet in physical teaching setups. Barely 10 to 15% of aspiring engineers and doctors prefer online over offline.
I would like to prefer offline mode, as offline mode provides students with a practical learning environment, and it also allows students to closely interact with the teachers if we face any problem in regarding any skills. So we are ready to immediately we can ask the question to our teachers.
In offline classes, teachers explain it, like we can directly ask them questions at that particular time, but in online classes, we get delayed in asking our doubts. So I will surely prefer offline classes, because in offline classes, our doubts get easily cleared very.
I would surely prefer offline classes, because offline classes provides us with the environment. It provides us direct connectivity to our teachers.
ऐसा होता है कि ऑफलाइन में टीचर में बहुत एनर्जी रहती है और हम में भी बहुत एनर्जी रहती है उस टाइम पे, तो अच्छा समझ में आता है।
ऑनलाइन में थोड़ा पॉज करके उसको समझते हैं, उससे हमको समझ में आ जाता है।
आई लव ऑनलाइन क्लासेस बिकॉज ऑनलाइन में हमारा कॉन्फिडेंस जो है वो बिल्डअप होता जाता है, हमारी एक्यूरेसी, हमारी स्पीड, क्वेश्चन डूइंग की जो है वो बढ़ती जाती है।
A small chunk of students are willing to continue exploring online options, but despite that, it looks like the offline classes are here to stay. In Kota, Santia Gora for CNBC-TV18.
Do keep tuning in for Santia Gora's reports, ground reports from the state of Rajasthan, and also what's ailing rural India. With that, it's a wrap on this edition of India Business Hour. Thank you for watching. News continues right here on CNBC.